comic books in the world, and some people just overspent on key comics this week. Hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about number 10 on the list with the most popular modern Joker cover. We have Detective Comics 880, the jock Joker with like bats coming out of his head. This book was on the trending 10 because of the original art sale that happened earlier this month, clearing $288,000. Well, we are seeing this book land on the trending 10 post that sale because there was so much, attention, mainstream coverage, and now it's propelled itself to the hot 10. We see a 9.8 sell this week for $439, which is an increase of 19% when you compare it to the recent 12-month average. But there were 7 other 9.8s that sold this week above that 12-month average, totaling between all grades above the average of over $4,000. Now, what do you think? Russ kind of threw it out there that he thinks there should be some type of royalty when covers land this hard in the community and they sell for such a high amount. You got to assume when Jock sold this in 2011, at best, he made a few $1,000s. This is a profit of over $250,000 off of his work.
Oh, man, I think that's one of those things that's impossible to track. But to be honest, I don't even think that's something that should be in discussion. Like, as an investor, somebody who buys something and spends that much money, like, to feel that in perpetuity, every time it sells, that the artist should somehow get money for it. Like, that money the artist got could have also helped propel their career or could have done other things and benefit them. They could have just kept the artwork. A lot of artists just keep the artwork. They let it go. It's gone. And, like, if the cover does go down, should they then pay back money?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below, because I see both sides of this and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Hit him with number 9, because we've talked a lot about Punisher over the last few weeks, but we haven't talked about this Mike Zeck cover.
Number 9 is Punisher number 1 from 1986, a 5-issue story arc with all great Mike Zeck covers. And this is just one of those books. It comes in a newsstand, it comes in a direct, and it's just something that people love because it's such an outstanding artwork for this character. And we just saw some strong sales. We saw a number 1 issue of 9.8 sell for $598. That's up 13% above the 12-month average of $528. Now, this is his first solo series. Now, the next year, he would have his own first ongoing series with the Punisher number 1 starting. And most of us know this cover. It's got a green background. He's holding a bazooka. He also killed Inigo Montoya's father because he has 6 fingers on the cover of this book, in case you didn't know, which is kind of an interesting fact. And there's going to be some other Punisher books we're going to cover. Now, Punisher is in the light and really on this list weekly because of Born Again Season 2 coming, going to be in the next Spider-Man. You got to get used to seeing Punisher on this list because he's just going to be here, it feels like, almost every single week.
And now we're at number 8 on the list with Marvel Spotlight number 5. Dare I say the first appearance of Ghost Rider making it on our list because of Riri's show Ironheart debuting Sacha Baron Cohen's Mephisto. We see a 7.0 go for $1,600. That's up 16%. Now, this is an expensive book, but we actually took some time to look up Ghost Rider 1, which is performing pretty well, by the way. But you can get a 7.0 Ghost Rider 1 for around $500 right now. The covers look very similar, and I think having that number 1 is special within itself. So we have a couple different options for you, but I think we are clearly being ushered into the supernatural, the occult, and where we see Johnny Blaze, we're probably going to be seeing more other types of monster characters. We already got Man-Thing, and there's more characters on this very list. This is a list filled with some supernatural stuff, and I think we can all thank Ironheart.
Number 7, getting a little bit of a push because of the new Superman film. We got the first appearance of Guy Gardner, who's kind of one of the more standout characters that we got from that film. And clearly people are excited from what they saw because this book sold 5 times above the 12-month average on already a book that's kind of pricey when you think about it. And a solid DC key. A 9.2 sold for $1,650. That's up 5% above the 12-month average on this book. Now, let me tell you, I enjoyed seeing him. Now, he's kind of a bit of a goof, but I get that. So I do think that we're going to get to see some more serious roles because apparently we're going to see him in Peacemaker. And I think we're going to have to get a little bit more of his dark side coming through, which I'm excited to finally see on TV or film.
What do you think about this, man? $125 million. That's what Superman debuted this last weekend. And it's right behind the release of Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. 93% audience approval rating. Rotten Tomatoes with an 83% rating from critics.
And if you go to YouTube critics, it's probably 12% because it's just nothing but toxicity, it feels like, out there. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I got what I wanted out of it, and I'm super happy for the film. It's interesting to see where movies are when you hear something as large as Superman being third behind Lilo and Stitch and Minecraft. So it kind of gives you an idea and representation of the kind of what's happening in theaters these days.
Let's not forget that HBO Max or HBO or whatever you call it is going to have a Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan led Green Lantern show that's going to be akin to True Detective. And you best believe that Nathan Fillion and Guy Gardner has got to make an appearance in that. Do yourself a solid. We do not have a Patreon. If you want to support the show, we don't have like exclusive content where we charge you. No, we just give it to you all for free. And we are actively in enrollment for the August mystery mail call. July, August. Yeah, August, dude, already. This year is flying by. San Diego Comic-Con is just around the corner, and we have guaranteed every single member. Open enrollment is now a Fantastic Four #1, John Boy Myers, Victor Von Doom trade dress cover. Link in the description, which brings us to number 6 on the list with Star Wars 42. This came out in 1980, first appearance of Boba Fett. And we're seeing a 9.6 go for $400. That's up 5%. But there's also a newsstand 9.8 that went for $13.95. That's a year high sale, up 24%. Over $3,000 spent on this comic book. But here's the thing, there's no new news about The Mandalorian. I know there was a movie in development, but that has nothing to do with this particular Mandalorian. And there are no updates on a season 2 book of Boba. So this is more wishful thinking. I personally see this book on the list, and I think out of the entire Star Wars run, tabling the price variance, it's issue #1 in Star Wars 42. Those are the coolest books. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Star Wars 68's probably in there as well. That's the really popular Mandalorian cover. You got a big old yellow background. The last issue is kind of more of a tough issue too, so a lot of people look for that for collectors. So, but I get what you're saying. You know, they're kind of few and far between on a 107 issue run.
Number 5 on the list. Remember we told you about the supernatural invading our list today? We have Werewolf by Night issue number 32. So we have Werewolf by Night stuff happening, but also this is the first appearance of Moon Knight.
No real news on Moon Knight, nothing really on Werewolf by Night, and a book to really kind of think about is Marvel Spotlight 2, which is the first appearance of Werewolf by Night, so something to keep an eye on because we have seen him obviously on the TV before, so no surprise if we're getting to this horror realm that we're going to see him again. So for this book with 6 sales above the 12-month average of over $10,000 spent, we had a 9.4 sell for $3,795. Call it $3,800. That's 6% above the 12-month average with a year-high sale. How there has not been another Moon Knight? Just, I have no clue. I mean, you might as well, Disney's as multiple personality as Moon Knight is.
That's true, man. Also, where the f is Blade, my man? Number 4 on the list, we have Tomb of Dracula. Number 10, 7 sales, clearing nearly $6,000. And 8.5, which is, by the way, the highest on the census as it pertains to total copies graded, is an 8.5. Sold for $13.75. That's up 6% and accounts for 10% of all the grades that are currently on that census. Like First Blade, Mahershala Ali, dude, it's crazy to think that this was announced back in 2019. Okay, so a lot of people think that this is just straight up not happening. People are definitely dumping their copies, but seeing Mephisto, reminding them about Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing and Ghost Rider, where you at? Clearly we have the occult coming. Mephisto, I'm super glad he's here, but we need to look at Blade again, especially considering that David Goyer, the writer of the original Blade trilogy, he revealed recently that he actually threw his name out there to say, hey, I can help you write this stuff. I know how to do it. And the writers that were currently working on the Blade script said, no, we're good. They declined and they, quote, made a breakthrough in the script. That is the last thing that we know. They haven't canceled Blade, but they've removed it from the slate.
Now, if we want to talk about slates being clean, there is something that was added to a slate. Key Collector Comics now has a price guide section, not Overstreet price guide, but it seems to keep track of graded book sales. So you can just click a tab, buy the book, and it tells you actual value of these books graded, which is so convenient instead of having to switch between 3-4 apps to figure out what the value is of a book.
Kotam 101, you have to see. If you don't have Key Collector right now, you need to use that code and try it out. Yo, this is the number one complaint that people give about Key Collector is the price guidance not being accurate enough. But that's what it is. It's just guidance. It's like it's a range, right? High average sales.
It was horrible.
But now you're seeing 90-day average and recent high sales of 9.8s, 9.6, 9.2s, 9.4, all of them. And this is a huge thing. We have never had this type of like access this quick on an app in comic history. Welcome to 2025, ladies and gentlemen. And it's brought to you by Key Collector Comics. Use that code, support the show. And Jeff, intro number 3, because some people paid way too much. They should have been using their Key Collector app.
Number 3 on the list, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 8. This book comes and goes so freaking often. But this book, in a 90-day average, had 20% overpayment. On a 12-month average, 60% overpayment. We saw a 9.8 direct sell for $772. The year high sale for this book, that's up 60% of the 12-month average. The 9.8 newsstand, also up 66% from the 12-month average, sold for $1,800. Now, it's not unheard of. This book actually sold a couple times for $1,800. And really for the newsstand direct, 90-day average, about $1,500, but still an overpayment because you can still pick this up for less as a buy it now on eBay for either copy.
I know. Actually, right before the show, I pulled it up. $500, buy it now, which means auctions are going to end lower than $500. There are so many of these books being added to the census every single freaking week. I mean, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. There's 6 new 9.8s. There are 3 new 9.6s. Like, save your money. I don't think we're going to see Tom Holland go black suit till after Brand New Day.
I mean, it's always possible, but again, I've always been the ASM 252 fan.
Let us know what you think. Are people just overpaying on Secret Wars 8 right now? I think you should stay clear. Maybe focus on Tomb 10 right now and another book on the list. Buckle up because we got to talk about number 2. Fantastic Four number 40 freaking 8. Now, not a whole lot of news on Silver Surfer. They're, obviously Shia LaBeouf, the love interest of Norrin Radd. That's who's going to be our herald, ushering us the introduction of Galactus to the 616 as we know it. But we are seeing a 8.0 sale for $3,300. That's up 6%. Near $9,000 in sales above the recent 12-month average happened in the last 7 days as we gear up for a little over a week, right? It's next week that the first Marvel family gets introduced to the MCU. The only real news that we got is based off of trailer. It kind of appears that the first Marvel family, Fantastic Four, they go and like talk to Galactus, probably because they get told by the Herald, hey, Galactus is coming. So they're going to go try to make a deal, see what's going down. They come back and in trailer, you have Pedro Pascal, Mr. Fantastic, talking to the audience on television. And they're like, what's going to happen? Do you have any good news? And his response was, oh, Galactus, the only deal he's willing to make is he's asking too much. He is asking for my child.
I haven't seen this much buzz about a baby since Blanket, which in case you didn't know was Michael Jackson's kiddo. Okay, so back in the day, that was a whole nother thing. But this kid, I'm telling you, we have rumors of that happening, which really isn't a rumor, right? Because you just saw it, that maybe even Dr. Doom in a post-credit scene might be coming in to take the baby as well. Okay, so like there is so much future potential for this character that, again, we need to mention mutants because mutants are around the corner. And you talked about Tomb 10 investment. I'm still about investing in mutant stuff, which isn't even on this list anywhere.
Either is Annihilus and Franklin Richards, which may actually jump on the Hot 10 post next week's debut of the movie. Are you guys going to see it opening weekend? Let me know in the comment section below. And let's hit them with the number 1 hottest book in the world. And it's not Fantastic Four. It's not mutants. It's not Supernatural or the occult. It's not, well, I almost said it wasn't Punisher, but it is. Amazing Spider-Man 129, first full appearance of Punisher.
This book is so freaking resilient that it's almost unbelievable because last year we had Wolverine number 1 on this list. I don't even know how many times. This book could potentially beat it if you track them for year to year. And I'm going to be curious to see at the end of the year what was on this list more often. Now, as much as we love this book, I have to mention another book that's just like, if you can't pick up this mega key.
Well, let's him at the price. 9.6 went $67.53 this week. $6,753, up 11%. Didn't you sell a 9.6 recently? What did you sell it for?
Less than that by quite a bit. I think I sold mine for under 6, and that was just like a week ago.
Damn, so this book is blowing up. Now, if you can't afford this book, I mean, you can get a 4.0 for under $1,000. You can get like a 0.5 or like a really introduction copy under $500. But if you want to go even lower, there are some really undervalued Punisher keys that I know you're probably thinking of. War Journal, right?
Yes, because we already talked about a couple earlier. But yeah, Punisher War Journal 6 and 7. I mean, both Jim Lee covers.
Wolverine versus Punisher for the first time.
Right. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that, I'll be honest with you, on screen.
Well, issue number 6, gorgeous cover. You can get for under $100. And 7 at a 9.8 is like, what, $60 right now?
Yeah, my 60, $80, somewhere around there. But regardless, those two books in a 9.8, you just kind of feel like they deserve more respect. And number 7, low key, I think is better than 6.
Ooh, hot take. I agree with you. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. And of course, this is all happening because of Brand New Day, John Bernthal. People are hyped. And as always,
collect the old and gold and geek responsibly.
Or Punisher. See you next week. Enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video. We have a bunch of giveaways happening this week. All you have to do is join the SMS group or text message group via comictom.com. We do a randomizer, pick someone and contact you through your phone number. That way we know it's you, but you also know it's us. We have a Secret Wars 1 that we're giving away. Justice League of America International issue number 1, Kevin Maguire in theme of Superman. And we have a mega giveaway that we're doing sometime throughout the month for cul-de-sac number 1, that CGC with steak going through it. Shout out Bad Idea for making that happen. Join the community, and we'll see you next week.